Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. Man, it is dark in my room. This is terrible. Oh my God. I had to get some more light. But yes, welcome to another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. I'm your host, Saheem the Dream. Just give me a few moments to bring a little bit more light. I look too dark, man. Dang, man, like I got a tan or something. Hold on a second. Just give me a little bit more time. Just give me one moment. Oh, that's a whole lot better. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. I'm your host, Saheem the Dream, coming to you guys live. Raw after WrestleMania. Oh, my God. What a show. What a show. King Reezy. Yo, what's up, King Reezy? Thank you for joining me today. If you guys are joining me right now, catching me live, drop a comment in the comment section below as we talk about Raw after WrestleMania. We had one of the greatest WrestleManias in history, WrestleMania 40, where Cody Rhodes finally completes his story. Right? We have Money in the Bank cash-in from Damian Priest. We have a 5-minute title reign from Drew McIntyre. Becky Lynch did not win a world title thanks to Rhea Ripley and her crafty in-ring ability. What else do we have? What else? The Usos used up all the super kicks on the roster. What else did we have? What else did we have that was pretty good? But we had a lot of great things that happened at WrestleMania. So let me just get to the point. Raw after WrestleMania. CM Punk likes to hold Drew McIntyre's leg. The Rock likes to give gifts to people he made promises to, and that's Cody Rhodes. What did The Rock give Cody Rhodes that was so personal between the two? If you guys were catching Monday Night Raw, Cody Rhodes, Triple H opened up. Of course, I missed a little bit of that part, but I'm going to go back and watch it before I go to sleep tonight. I was in the gym, pumping my guns, got to make sure the guns stay pumped. And but I caught Raw 5 minutes late, and I walk in and catch the moment where Cody Rhodes comes down the runway, and he gets a hug from Triple H, and Triple H congratulates him, and Cody Rhodes gives his speech, and they and then The Rock comes out after Cody Rhodes gives his, big coronation speech of him being, world champion and so forth, and celebrating his world title victory. And him and The Rock have a long segment, because The Rock couldn't help himself but be booed by the audience. And The Rock, of course, being The Rock, had to do his Rock thing, anyways, when the segment ended between The Rock and Cody, right? Because I want to get to that part, because if you guys didn't see it, I suggest you guys go back, watch it, check it out. The Rock says something to Cody. He says, "I have something in my pocket And he said, I'm going to give it to you. And he says to Cody, he says, you don't even have to look at it to know exactly what it is that I'm handing it to you. Sorry. You don't need to know exactly what it is. You don't need to look at it, but you know what it is that I'm handing to you once I put it in your hand. And then he says to Cody, he says, don't ever break my heart again. Now, some of you guys know already that, or some of you guys are privy to the information about how WrestleMania was supposed to go down. Some of you guys seen the preview of the documentary that's supposed to be coming up soon. I believe it's going to be on Peacock. And it's going to break down how they were building WrestleMania. And I'm very interested in knowing the details as far as how they were building WrestleMania and what changes they made. Now, the rumor is, and what we know, is that The Rock was slated to fight Roman Reigns as the big money match. And of course, we know that the reason why The Rock was slated to fight Roman Reigns for the big money match is because Vince McMahon has his lawsuit. They didn't want all the attention to be drawn toward Vince McMahon. So therefore, have The Rock come in, take away that attention, and all the negative press that's being put out on Vince McMahon, the former owner and establisher of the World Wrestling Entertainment promotion that we know as today as the WWE, and put all the attention on the biggest Hollywood movie star that's coming back to his roots of entertainment, which is wrestling, the likes of Roman Reigns to fight for the head of the table, right? So we know that for those of us who are intuitive, we speculated that's exactly what they were doing. For those of us who are mature, we kind of looked at that and said, we know what they're doing. They're trying to distract us with this match over here and get us to not focus on the scandal with Vince McMahon over here, right? Smart move, of course. That's what you want to do. And as we after we've seen in the previews, like during WrestleMania and the previews on Monday Night Raw, they were talking about this documentary. And in the documentary, they're talking about the build of WrestleMania, and you hear Triple H saying that we had to call an audible. So, of course, when it comes to audible, that means that there was a play that we were planning on executing. And because of the current circumstance and situation, if we go with that play, we may be doomed or we may be heading into failure. So what we need to do is we need to change these plans and go with something that would be a lot more effective. And of course, that audible play was called, and this is my assumption on the documentary when they make the comment about we had to call the audible. But I believe in my heart that this is exactly what happened. Fans, of course, being the sole carriers of the WWE universe, said, we want Cody, we don't want The Rock. This is not fair. We've been investing all our time in watching Monday Night Raws and watching SmackDown to see someone who's not a part-timer, someone who will give us a show every week and every pay-per-view, and who's going to be there and who really earned the spot at being at WrestleMania, and that's Cody. Now, I'm a Rock fan, 100%. I'm a Rock fan. He is by far probably one of my top 5, top 3 wrestlers of all time. A lot of times he goes in and out between Hogan, Triple H, but he is definitely at my top. He's my favorite wrestler, right? And I knew it wasn't fair. I knew it wasn't right for The Rock to just come out of nowhere and challenge Roman, even though they had these plans in the workings, a year, 2 years prior, right? But truth be told, for us fans, it didn't make sense, right? Because that's the same thing that happened with Batista, right? Batista goes off to Hollywood. He gets a little fame off of Guardians of the Galaxy. He comes back. Triple H is his boy. He's one of Vince McMahon's good old boys, right? He's part of Vince McMahon's good old boy club. And what happens, right? Batista gets entered into the main event picture by winning the Royal Rumble, right? And gets booed out of the stadium by the fans. From Batista to Boutista to Bluetista, right? And that's the first time it started with the whole Daniel Bryan story, with the whole Batista storyline. First time it started, right? So fans wanted to see something different, right? So I gather between the time of discussing what was supposed to happen between Cody and Roman, right? That The Rock was like, this is the play, or what they agreed on. This is the play. The play is that The Rock is going to go off and he's going to fight Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. And of course, because of the fans, they had to change those plans, right? And that's what happened. But there was something that was agreed upon between The Rock and Triple H. I'm sorry, The Rock and Cody. And I want to know, one day, will Cody reveal exactly what that is, right? Apparently, I just found out that one of the potential secrets that was told in the ring, right? Speaking of secrets in the ring, where people stand in the ring and tell secrets, apparently one of the potential secrets in the ring was when Undertaker had a conversation with Bray in the ring. Is that he wanted Bray to break the streak. That would have been great. That would have been the perfect person. And there's been many times that we've sat up here and we've talked about Bray being that guy or someone who had that mysteriousness and that aura of darkness and, the emo feel that would carry on a legacy similar to Undertaker. And Bray was the guy who had it. Rest in peace, Bray. It's unfortunate he passed so soon and left us so soon. But yeah. So I want to know exactly what it is that The Rock handed to Cody. But my assumption, of course, is that it had a lot to do with what they agreed upon concerning WrestleMania. And I bet it went something like this. The plans went something like this. You're gonna go to Royal Rumble. You're gonna win the Royal Rumble. You're gonna hand over the match to me. You're gonna step out of the way because we don't want it to look like The Rock, right, imposed himself into the match, but you humbly move out of the way so that The Rock and Roman can settle their differences. And you'll come back around to fight Roman at a Backlash or SummerSlam or whatever it was, right? But fans hijacked that whole WrestleMania and said it's not happening that way, right? Social media blew up. Fans said they wanted Cody, not Roman, and that's exactly what happened, right? So I'm happy for that, and I'm glad that Cody was able to finish his story. It's the first WrestleMania I've ever been emotional watching. First time I was ever really emotional at a WrestleMania, not at, but watching a WrestleMania. Feeling very emotional just watching it because here is this WWE darling, right? In the likes of Cody Rhodes, who represents Dolph Ziggler, who represents Zack Ryder, who represents Daniel Bryan, who represents Kofi Kingston, who represents those guys who came from that era, who Vince McMahon looked at as just in-ring performers and nothing more than mid-carders. And he finally got his comeuppance. He finally got exactly what he should have gotten. And that was a fair shot at being someone who could be put in the main event picture as a main event player, right? And I'm happy for Cody. I'm totally happy for Cody. I was happy for Kofi in the same light, right? Daniel Bryan already had like a world title reign before the whole Wrestlemainia situation happened. So he doesn't kind of really count. I mean, they called him B+ player, but I'm like, the dude was like a 2-time former world champion and WWE champion. Like, I mean, really, like D+. I'm like, bro, he already like proved like he is a world. He already had world championship reigns. You know what I'm saying? But it was like Kofi. For Kofi, it was a really big thing because the original plan, even with Kofi, was that Daniel Bryan would win. And Daniel Bryan had to go to bat for Kofi and say, no, I want Kofi to win. I want Kofi to take the belt off me. Like, Kofi needs to get his due. Why are you stopping this? But that's what Cody represents. And that's what made me so emotional, because it was like when Cody was doing his whole Stardust character, we seen how great he was in the ring being Stardust and how he just really put that character over. We seen how he was, you know, being, what was it? What was that gimmick he had? But anyway, how he had his former gimmick, you know, just really putting his gimmick over. And Cody had that in-ring, or had that character like charisma, where it wasn't so much about what he said. It wasn't so much about what he did. It was just a total package, just all fit together on the mic and in the ring. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that he had the best catchphrases. It wasn't that he had the best moves, but his moves were good enough to gravitate to. His mic skills were good enough to gravitate to whereas it was like, yo, he has potential to be pushed and to do more, and we need to see more out of him. And it was so sad to see that he had to break away from WWE, but he proved how much of a star he was when he broke away, became a superstar outside of WWE, built a whole nother promotion, came back and showed Vince McMahon, I have more value than you assume I don't have. Right, finish that sentence. But anyway, Cody Rhodes finishes the story. And what's next for Cody? Who's Cody's next opponent? Some of us think Gunther. I think it may be too soon. And the reason why I think it may be too soon for Gunther is because I want to see Gunther go in a match for one title shot and win. I don't want to see Gunther go through a whole bunch of extra. I want to see Gunther go in just like how he won the IC title, go in, challenge for that title and win and just walk out. Just like how he did with the IC. But Gunther's probably taking time off. He wasn't on Monday Night Raw tonight. We didn't see him on Raw tonight. He took some time off. He might be taking a lot of time off, but who knows? But we know more than likely Roman is taking some time off too. Then The Rock says to anyway, just jumping into it. The Rock says to Cody, he says, your story with Roman Reigns has been completed, but your story with me is not. Right. So I'm curious to know exactly when The Rock and Cody will face off, and that will be a good match. The other thing is when it comes to The Rock having that conversation with Cody, he also said to him, he said, with or without the title. So that'll be interesting to find out exactly how that plays out. I'm curious to know exactly how everything plays out with Roman and Cody, if they circle back around to Roman and Cody, which they probably will eventually down the line. But we don't know if Roman is coming back. The rumor is, around the rumor mill, is that Roman is not going to be back for a while. But that's just a rumor. I'm not sure. And we're not sure exactly if it's true or not. The other thing is, how long will Cody Rhodes' title reign last? Like, how long will his reign last? And I'm curious to know exactly how long it's going to last. Exactly, you know, where it's going to go from here. But I'm very excited and I'm very happy. And I'm happy to say that the Triple H era has started. Stephanie McMahon said the Paul Levesque era is in effect. I remember a while back, when Triple H took over creative, I said, me and Jay was talking and on a podcast, and I said the Triple H era is in full effect. Triple H is over creative. He was over NXT, and we seen the work that he's done down at NXT. And once I knew he was over creative in WWE, I said the Triple H era is about to begin and is now the Triple H era. Or we can say the pro wrestling era, because now sports and entertainment is now not something that's being associated with sports entertainers, which are wrestlers, right? Or the wrestlers we know of. So I don't know if you guys caught that. So now remember, Vince McMahon didn't want the wrestlers to be called pro wrestlers. He wanted them to be called sports entertainers. But Triple H said, nah, we ain't having that. We're going to call them pro wrestlers. As we can see, Triple H is correcting a lot of things that should have been done a long time ago. But I said this a while ago. I said the universe, the WWE universe, is going to reset at a WrestleMania. And I knew it. And that's usually when the WWE universe usually resets, when they go through their reset. Some people carry on from their seasons, like Roman Reigns, with his lengthy title reign. Some people, they get new titles. Some people, they in feuds, and everything resets and restarts. But I knew that at WrestleMania, everything was going to reset. Or at a WrestleMania. We've had a WrestleMania with Triple H being in charge, and that was last year's WrestleMania 40. And it was too soon. And what we noticed and what we seen was that Triple H was kind of like phasing out and working through everything that had been established when Vince McMahon was still in power. And he just kind of like worked everything out in a story. But he did it excellently. Like, he actually fully fleshed out every story that was created while Vince McMahon was in power, right? From damage control to Gunther being IC champion, to Roman Reigns being the undisputed Universal Champion, to Austin Theory being United States Champion, or Money in the Bank briefcase holder, to even establishing a new world title, being that Roman Reigns was holding on to all the titles, right? So, but that wasn't, I don't know if it was necessarily Vince's idea. I believe that the world title situation was more of Triple H's creative idea, because Roman Reigns had unified both titles. So they're saying, like, it's just like, yo, we need a heavyweight champion to be on Monday Night Raw. We have one on SmackDown. He only shows up on SmackDown. So we need somebody on Monday Night Raw. And Seth Rollins was the guy to be chosen to take that helm of being the world title holder, right? If you guys are joining me again, drop a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think about Monday Night Raw. How did you like Monday Night Raw? Was there anything in particular that you enjoyed? But I'm happy for Jey Uso. Let's get into the main event. I'm happy for Jey Uso. Jey Uso is going to be fighting Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship. This will be his third world title match, right? His first was against Roman. No, not his third. His fourth against Roman. He had one against Roman. No, he had three. No, he had two against Roman. No, he had three. Two against Roman when Roman was trying to get him to join the Bloodline. And then he had another one against Roman at SummerSlam. Then he had one against Seth Rollins. So 1, 2. So I think I'm missing somebody. Seth. So it's 3 against Roman, 1 against Seth. Okay, so this will be his fifth. So this will be his fifth. I feel like I'm missing another title match he had. No. So that was it. Yeah. So this will be his fifth title match for a world title. He's number one contender. He beat Drew. I was hoping that everything happened a lot more clean. I was hoping that there would be no interruptions, but CM Punk likes to hold people legs. CM Punk right now is the MVP, even though I felt some kind of way about Punk in the last few months, but all is forgiven. Those are just my feelings about Punk. But again, Triple H in this era is doing everybody right. Even the redemption of Punk, right? He's even allowed Punk to play his character right. You know what I mean? There's no ill will with him and Punk in the past. And had that been Vince, I think with Vince, it probably would have played out the same, because Vince will probably want the, superstars that are top superstars that kind of still look strong. But I think certain things would have played out a little bit different. Anyway, the main event for tonight was actually really, really good. It was really, really good. Really, really good. There was a really dope spot in the match where Jay hits Bronson Reed with a spear, and while Jay is ducking under Bronson Reed's clothesline, Bronson Reed is clotheslining Ricochet, and Jay runs to the rope and hits him with a spear. But it was just a build up to that whole spot that was just really, really good. Even the tag match with Sami Zayn and Chad Gable was really good. They had a really good match. Those were definitely the two highlights of tonight. I would definitely, let me say we had three highlights. We had Cody and The Rock, and we had the main event Fatal 4-Way with Drew McIntyre, Jey Uso, Ricochet, and Drew McIntyre. I said Drew McIntyre. I'm sorry, Bronson Reed. And we had a tag match against Imperium going against Chad Gable and Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn will be fighting Chad Gable for the Intercontinental Championship next week on Monday Night Raw. I assumed that would be at Backlash. I thought it would be a Backlash. As a matter of fact, I thought Chad Gable was going to turn on Sami Zayn after the tag match. Or I thought he was going to turn, period. Whether before or after the tag match. But I had an assumption he was going to turn, but he didn't turn. But they fought a great match against Imperium, and it was really good. So if I was to grade Monday Night Raw, I would definitely have to give Monday Night Raw a solid 8. I say a solid 8. It wasn't a 10. It wasn't one of the best Monday Night Raws after WrestleMania, but it was a good one. I'm sorry, I forgot about John Cena. John Cena made an appearance, and it was a really fun way in how he made a surprise appearance. Of course, the Awesome Truth are tag champions. And the segment starts out with the Judgment Day in the middle of the ring. They're celebrating, their victories of how Damian Priest cashed in and Rhea Ripley retained. And as Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest were kind of like just celebrating their world title, victories, here comes R-Truth, with his tag title, saying that, Judgment Day, we still held on to a tag title and everything is going full circle. And Finn Balor challenged the Awesome Truth to a tag match. And this is after The Miz came down to the ring and joined R-Truth, right? So R-Truth says, I have a partner, and but he's not here. You can't see him. And The Miz says, it's not Little Jimmy, is it? And then R-Truth says, he said you can't see him. And he was like, he's here, but you can't see him. And he says, let me introduce to you and before he could even get the words out, Judgment Day attacks them, match starts, and then like toward the end of the match, John Cena runs out. He's the partner that, we couldn't see. He come out, they have they do their spots or whatever, and boom, 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 1, 2, 3, match is over. Awesome Truth retains their titles. Right? So that's Monday Night Raw. Raw at the WrestleMania, right? We are now officially in the Triple H era. We are now officially in the Triple H era. I'm going to say it one more time for Mr. Jaco. We are now officially in the Triple H era because Mr. Jaco thinks he says things first. So I'm going to say it again. We are now in the Triple H era of wrestling. But yeah, we have now entered in a whole new era of wrestling, and this is dope. This is fun. This is great. This is awesome, and I'm loving exactly what Triple H is doing right now, as far as being the head of creative. I am definitely enjoying what's happening. If you guys are enjoying what's happening with the creative, drop a comment in the comment section below. Also, if you guys are catching the replay, circle back around. Let me know what you guys think about the rundown of Monday Night Raw. Also, what are you guys' expectations for Cody Rhodes' title reign? Who do you think is going to be his first challenger? Who do you think is going to be the first person that's going to challenge Cody for a world title? I thought it would be The Rock. I thought they were going to set up for Backlash. I thought The Rock was going to challenge Cody Rhodes, but he didn't challenge Cody Rhodes. He just came down to the ring pretty much to congratulate Cody and tell Cody, hey, you kind of stabbed me in the back, or you kind of broke off our agreement in order to have your match at WrestleMania. But, if that happens again, then it may be some consequences. And being that The Rock sits at the head of the actual table of WWE, we don't know what those kind of consequences would be. But it would also be in The Rock's wisest interest to keep someone like Cody in a position of being a champion. Why? Is because he's a character that all the WWE fans have invested in heavily, weekly, and he's going to be there while The Rock makes these sporadic appearances. And you would want to have somebody who's going to be around there all the time, 24/7, not 24/7, but just be there at the shows, showing up so that we can see this guy that we've attached ourselves to, because that's why we tune in. We tune in to watch these performers. And to have a performer like Roman Reigns and a performer like Brock Lesnar, a performer like The Rock that was only doing part-time appearances, it sucks. And, Seth Rollins definitely had to break that. He definitely had to be the one. Let me not say had to be the one, but Seth Rollins was the one that was determined to break that and to say, okay, this needs to stop. This started with Brock, and now Roman feels like he should be privy to the same privileges as Brock Lesnar, just only showing up part-time and on special occasions. Seth Rollins was like, listen, I'm a world champion. I have the title. I think I should be here on the show that my title was delegated to. And even injured, Seth Rollins still showed up. He was like, I'm injured, but I'm still here because why? I'm your world champion. I should be here, especially if I'm healing and I'm getting prepared for my world title match. I should still be in the mix. You should still see my face. You should still know who your champion is, get familiar. And that was his whole take. And I really respect that about Seth. I really respect that about Seth. I was thinking about Seth Rollins, though. Let me just mention this real quick, and I'll be out of you guys' way for the night. Again, if you guys are joining me again, make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you're catching us on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a like. Give me a thumbs up. If you catch me on Facebook, give me a thumbs up. Right? Give us a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up. Right? But also, what I wanted to mention was, Seth Rollins took like a lot of L's at WrestleMania. He took a lot of L's. He lost in a tag match. He lost the world title. And then when he tried to help Cody Rhodes coming out with the Shield music during the main event at WrestleMania on night 2. Seth didn't even get in the ring. I mean, well, he got in the ring, but by the time he got in the ring, Roman was on him, and he punched him in the face. Caught him with a Superman punch, and Seth was out. That was it. It was hilarious. I was like, this is hilarious. It was like the biggest fail of that whole spot. The biggest fail of WrestleMania, like the biggest fail. It was like, why even do the Shield music? I guess it was like a distraction, and I guess the fans were supposed to go crazy. Fans cheered, but it wasn't like as big as when Undertaker came out. So when Undertaker came out, that's when everybody went crazy. Oh, Undertaker and Cena came out. As a matter of fact, I am not even gonna lie to you guys. That's the first time this is the first time in a long time, I should say. It's been a long time I've cheered for Cena. But this is the first time in a long time I've cheered for Cena. I've not been a fan of Cena for a very long time. There was another time I cheered for Cena. Anyway, but I kind of cheered for him. You know why? Because I wanted John Cena to help Cody Rhodes finish his story. And that's what I was cheering for Cena about. And by golly, did John Cena, assist in doing so. So, anyways, we'll be coming back to you guys live tomorrow to go over WrestleMania. And also, J. McMahon has a list that was posted by Bleacher Report about the top 100 pro wrestling performers of all time. So this is Bleacher Report's list of top 100 performers of all time. It's an interesting list. We're going to go through it. So hope you guys got some times. We more than likely will probably be on for like an hour and a half. But I'm going to end this show short with you guys. Just wanted to drop in real quick, say what's up. We haven't gone live in a minute, and I just wanted to make sure that you guys, just want to make sure you guys see my face, and we can talk wrestling. Just kind of get this conversation going about wrestling. All right, I'm signing off. I'm your host, Saheem the Dream, and I want you guys to join us every time we go live. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you give us a thumbs up. Make sure you drop a comment in the comment section below so you guys can come and talk wrestling with us if you are a wrestling fan. I'll be talking to you guys another time, and we'll be doing some more video uploads, giving you some of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts perspective on certain wrestlers and different takes and different, backstories in WWE. But make sure you hit the subscribe button so you can see those new videos, those new documentaries that I'll be posting up soon. And I'll be talking to you guys later. Peace.